Hey Sarah, guess what?
What?
We just hit 8,000 subscribers on the channel.
Whoa!
Pretty exciting news. We couldn't have done it without you guys.
Literally, I mean, you guys are the subscribers.
Also, you guys are just the bomb.
Speaking of bombs, today we are watching Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
This week's poll, we did a Kubrick poll on Patreon, and it was up against 2001 A Space Odyssey as well as A Clockwork Orange. And from the get-go, Dr. Strangelove took an early lead, and it just never looked back.
I think we were both pretty surprised, actually, that it was the winner.
Yeah. What are your expectations going into this film?
So, I'll be honest, I'm not super excited for this one. I think mostly just because I don't watch a lot of, we know it's satire,
yes.
Comedy is going to be dealing with the politics of the Cold War era. And that's just not something I really tend to watch or be drawn to.
Right.
But I'm not counting it out or anything. I'm definitely open to whatever it's going to give us.
Yeah, that's the good thing about this channel so far. It's been exposing us to genres that we, again, not really familiar with or just not naturally drawn to. But I'm interested to see how Kubrick tackles a comedy. Because so far the Kubrick films that we've seen haven't been really on the comedy spectrum.
It'll also be our oldest film on the channel so far.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the films that kind of set the foundation for the past, 50, 60 years.
Right. So yeah, I'm curious to see if this film, I bet you that this film will age well as far as the satire that we'll experience.
As always, the full-length reaction and our polls are available on Patreon.
And if you find yourself liking the video, feel free to like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, well, you can always watch one of our other videos. And if you don't like that video, well, I don't know what to tell you.
It's showtime! Woo. Oh, we're above the clouds.
For more than a year, ominous rumors had been privately circulating that the Soviet Union had been at work on what was darkly hinted to be the ultimate weapon. What they were building, no one could say.
Such peaceful music. James Earl Jones. Interesting. Yeah, he'll be really young in this.
Group Captain Mandrake speaking.
You recognize my voice? Why do you think I ask?
Well, I don't know, sir. We spoke just a few moments ago on the phone, didn't we?
Very well. Now listen to me carefully. The base is being put on condition red. I want this flash to all sections immediately.
Jolly good idea. Keeps the men on their toes.
Jolly good.
Group Captain, I'm afraid this is not an exercise. It looks like we're in a shooting war.
Oh, hell.
My orders are for this base to be sealed tight, and that's what I mean to do. Seal it tight. I want you to transmit Plan R to the wing.
Is it that bad, sir?
It looks like it's pretty hairy.
Yes, sir.
I want all privately owned radios to be immediately impounded. And after you've done that, report back to me.
All right, we've got some serious stuff going on.
Yes. Oh, man, lockdown.
Gotta black everything out.
America's Strategic Air Command maintains a large force of B-52 bombers airborne 24 hours a day.
Damn.
Can deliver a nuclear bomb load of 50 megatons. But they have one geographical factor in common. They are all 2 hours from their targets inside Russia.
It's not very funny so far. It's quite scary.
Terrifying. Ooh,
whoa.
Nice.
I wish I could do that.
I know. Should he be sleeping?
Oh, okay. So it's a message.
I'm sure it'll be pretty important.
Top secret.
I know you think this is crazy, but I just got a message from base over the CRM 114. He called his wing attack Plan R.
Did you say wing attack Plan R?
Yes, sir, I have.
How many times have I told you guys that I don't want no horsing around on the airplane?
Oh.
Oh, there's just gotta be something wrong.
Looks pretty serious.
And I gotta say, if something says top secret right on the front like that, I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Maybe you better get a confirmation from base.
Must be pretty serious then.
Major Kong, is it possible this is some kind of loyalty test? You
Old Ripper wouldn't be giving us Plan R unless them Ruskies had already clobbered Washington.
So is the plan just to drop a bomb?
Well, boys, I reckon this is it. Nuclear combat toe-to-toe with the Ruskies.
It's go time.
Yeah, looks like it.
I got a pretty fair idea that something doggone important's going on back there. Heck, I reckon you wouldn't even be human beings if you didn't have some pretty strong personal feelings about nuclear combat. The folks back home is counting on you, and by golly, we ain't about to let them down. Now, let's get this thing on the hump. We got some flying to do.
Was she tanning?
Oh, I guess so.
Hello? Well, this is his secretary, Miss Scott.
Secretary.
Oh, we were just catching up on some of the general's paperwork. Apparently, they monitored a transmission about 8 minutes ago from Burleson Air Force Base. It decoded as wing attack, Plan R.
Tell him to call, what's his name? Base Commander, Ripper. I have to think of everything on.
This is very professional.
He says he's tried personally several times, but everything
The general
is dead.
seems
Even
unconcerned.
the normal phone lines are shut down.
What's cooking on the threat board? Nothing. Nothing at all?
So who sent the...
I tell you what you better do, old buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a blast and bump everything up to condition red and stand by the blower. I'll get back to you.
Buck, honey, I'm not sleepy either.
I know how it is, baby. And old Bucky will be back here before you can say, blast off.
I want to impress upon you the need for extreme watchfulness. The enemy may come individually, or he may come in strength. We must not allow him to gain entrance to this base. Trust no one, whatever his uniform or rank. If in doubt, shoot first and ask questions afterward.
Oh.
I have always expected the best from you, and you have never given me anything less than that. Today...
Oh, man. It's like there's a lot of buildup going on.
Yeah. So the whole order to them...
Yes.
Are we understanding where that's coming from?
I'm not... Yeah, I don't know.
Because the general... who he was talking to seemed to not know because they said there was no threat.
Right.
But everything kind of seems to be coming from that base.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency base code prefix is to be set on the dial. This will block any transmission other than those preceded by a code prefix. Set code prefix.
Code prefix set. All circuits switch to CRM discriminators.
So much prep.
Primary target, the ICBM complex at Laputa. 30 megaton nuclear device fused for airburst at 10,000 feet. Otherwise, proceed to secondary target.
Something rather interesting has just cropped up. Listen to that. Music. I think those fellas in the Pentagon have given us some sort of exercise to test our readiness.
I thought I issued instructions for all radios on this base to be impounded. Sir, Captain, the officer exchange program does not give you any special prerogatives to question my orders.
We don't want to start a nuclear war unless we really have to, do we?
Captain, the planes are not going to be recalled.
If a Russian attack was not in progress, then your use of Plan R, in fact, your order to the entire wing, I would say, sir, that there was something dreadfully wrong somewhere.
It's a mystery.
He's not listening.
I think he's onto something, though. Something's not right.
Yeah.
It is my clear duty, under the present circumstances, to issue the recall code.
So he's gonna do it?
The door's locked, right? He's not gonna let him leave.
The key and the recall code.
There's nothing anybody can do about this thing now. I'm the only
That's
person
not
who knows the
true.
three-letter code group.
Do I take it, sir, that you're threatening a brother officer with a gun?
I suppose it never occurred to you. A decision is being made by the president. There will be only one course of action open. Total commitment. Do you recall what Clemenceau once said about war? He said war was too important to be left to the generals. But today, war is too important to be left to politicians.
Wow. So he wants this to go forward.
Yeah.
I can no longer sit back and allow communist infiltration, communist indoctrination.
Gotcha. Okay. So he's going off the rails.
Maybe a little
basically.
bit.
To sap and impurify all of our precious bodily fluids.
Oh, shit. Yeah, what's going on? The question is what's going on at the Pentagon?
Now, General Turgison, what's going on here?
Mr. President,
General Jack Ripper issued an order to the 34 B-52s of his wing. Now, it appears that the order called for the planes to attack their targets inside Russia. The triangles are their primary targets. The squares are their secondary targets.
Shit.
You don't have a lot of time.
I was under the impression that I was the only one in authority to order the use of nuclear weapons.
Oh, okay.
It's beginning to look like General Ripper exceeded his authority.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps you're forgetting the provisions of Plan R, sir. Plan R is an emergency war plan in which a lower echelon commander may order nuclear retaliation after a sneak attack.
Shit.
The idea was for Plan R to be a sort of retaliatory safeguard.
And of course, someone would use it in the way it was not intended.
Well, I assume then that the planes will return automatically once they reach their fail-safe points.
Now, once they fly beyond fail-safe, they do not require a second order to proceed.
Why haven't you radioed the planes countermanding the GO code?
One of the provisions of Plan R provides the normal SSB radios in the aircraft are switched into a special coded device. We are plowing through every possible three-letter combination of the code.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Since there are 17,000 permutations.
I think it's time to start panicking.
Yes.
General Ripper sealed off the base and cut off all communication. General Ripper called Strategic Air Command Headquarters. Yes, gentlemen. They are on their way in, and no one can bring them back. We will prevail through the purity and essence of our natural fluids. God bless you all.
This man is obviously a psychotic.
I'd hold off judgment on a thing like that, sir.
You assured me there was no possibility of such a thing ever occurring.
I don't think it's quite fair to condemn a whole program because of a single slip-up, sir.
Hey, this is a pretty big slip-up.
Yeah. Chewing that gum.
Yes, sir.
They call the gum hackers.
I told you never to call me here. Don't you know where I am? Well, look, baby, I can't talk to you now, but my president needs me. Of course, it isn't only physical. I deeply respect you as a human being.
Nuclear war is imminent, but gotta take care of your girl.
Yeah.
I want them to enter the base, locate General Ripper, and put him in immediate telephone contact with me.
He said shoot anyone on contact.
Yeah.
Any force trying to enter there would certainly encounter very heavy casualties. Our hopes for recalling the 843rd Bomb Wing are quickly being reduced. If we have done nothing further to suppress their retaliatory capabilities, we will suffer virtual annihilation. If, on the other hand, we were to immediately launch an all-out and coordinated attack on all their airfields and missile bases, we'd stand a damn good chance of catching them with their pants down. We would therefore prevail and suffer only modest and acceptable civilian casualties.
Modest and acceptable. Wow, how nice.
It is the avowed policy of our country never to strike first with nuclear weapons.
The General Ripper has already invalidated that policy.
Yeah.
But it is necessary now to make a choice. One where you got 20 million people killed, and the other where you got 150 million people killed.
Oh my God.
I'm not saying we wouldn't get our hair mussed, but I do say...
This is wild. They're just determining the fate of the world at a big round table.
So casually.
Am I to understand the Russian ambassador is to be admitted entrance to the war room? You'll see everything. You'll see the big board.
The big boy.
In them you'll find 145 caliber automatic, 1 miniature combination Russian phrase book and Bible, 9 packs of chewing gum,
There's the gum again.
prophylactics. Shoot, a fella could have a pretty good weekend in Vegas with all that stuff.
We haven't been able to reach Premier Kissoff in the Kremlin. They say they don't know where he is and he won't be back for another 2 hours.
What did you say? I said Premier Kissoff is a degenerate atheistic Mr. President, I formally request that you filthy bully, you filthy, you surly guy.
Hey, you can't fight in here. This is the war room. What is going on here? I demand an explanation.
Look at this, Mr. President. This lousy commie rat was taking pictures with this thing of the big board.
Gentlemen, this is outrageous. I have never heard of such behavior in the war room before.
The war room is a place for politeness and peace.
Gee, those trucks sure look like the real thing, don't they?
I wonder where they got them from.
Open up at 200 yards.
Oh, man.
Товарищ председатель, говорит Садский. I've done as you asked. Be careful, Mr. President. I think he is drunk.
Oh, no.
I'm coming through fine, too, eh? Good. Then Well, then, as you say, we're both coming through fine.
Oh, you don't have time for this.
Well, it's good that you're fine then, and I'm fine. You know how we've always talked about the possibility of something going wrong with the bomb.
Oh my God.
One of our base commanders, he went a little funny in the head to attack your country. Well, let me finish, Dimitri. Well, listen, how do you think I feel about it? Can you imagine how I feel about it, Dimitri? Why do you think I'm calling you? Just to say hello? Listen, if it wasn't friendly, you probably wouldn't have even got it. We're just gonna have to help you destroy them, Dimitri.
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
know there are boys. I am as sorry as you are, Dimitri. Don't say that you're more sorry than I am, because I'm capable of being just as sorry as you are.
Da?
Uh-oh.
Что? Дураки!
Oh no, this can't be good.
The Doomsday Machine.
Oh.
A device which will destroy all human and animal life on Earth.
The Doomsday? Oh, this is so good.
Have you ever seen a commie drink a glass of water? Vodka. That's what they drink, isn't it? Never water.
When I...
And as human beings, you and I need fresh, pure water to replenish our precious bodily fluids.
There he goes, talking about the bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Mandrake, have you never wondered why I drink only distilled water or rainwater? Have you ever heard of a thing called fluoridation? Fluoridation of water. Fluoridation is the most monstrously conceived and dangerous communist plot we have ever had to face.
Shit.
Oh my gosh. Is that golf clubs?
Yes. Oh, that's not a golf club.
Come over here and help me with this belt.
What's happened? You see, the string in my leg's gone.
So that in 10 months, the surface of the Earth will be as dead as the moon. You've obviously never heard of cobalt thorium G.
Well, what about it?
Cobalt thorium G has a radioactive half-life of 93 years.
93 years?
When they are exploded, they will produce a doomsday shroud.
Is the Premier threatening to explode this if our planes carry out their attack?
No, sir. The doomsday machine is designed to trigger itself automatically.
It's an obvious commie trick, Mr. President. We're wasting valuable time. Look at the day for
This guy's losing it too.
Our doomsday scheme cost us just a small fraction of what we've been spending on defense in a single year.
Dr. Strangelove, do we have anything like that in the works?
A moment, please, Mr. President.
I commissioned last year a study of this project. My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent. Technology required is easily within the means of even the smallest nuclear power.
How is it possible for this thing to be triggered automatically and at the same time impossible to untrigger?
It is not only possible, it is essential.
Gee, I wish we had one of them doomsday machines, Stainsy.
But this is fantastic, Strangelove.
They are connected to a gigantic complex of computers. A specific and clearly defined set of circumstances programmed into a tape memory bank. Store all the information.
What kind of a name is that? That ain't no crowd name, is it, Stainsy?
The whole point of the doomsday machine is lost if you keep it a secret.
It was to be announced at the party congress on Monday.
Oh, man.
Peace is our profession. Oh, meanwhile.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I think it's all gonna just go kaput.
Oh, boy.
Don't you think we'd be better off in some other part of the room away from all this flying glass?
Realize that in addition to fluoridating water, where there are studies underway to fluoridate ice cream, Mandrake, children's ice cream.
This guy's like, oh, man.
Foreign substances introduced into our precious bodily fluids, certainly without any choice.
When did you first develop this theory?
During the physical act of love. Huh. Yes, a loss of essence.
It's getting wild.
This man is crazy.
Oh, they're surrendering?
Yeah.
I don't know if Ripper is gonna surrender, though.
I know.
Well, there's still time, I beg you. Let's recall the winger. Supposing a bit of water has gone up,
I don't like that face.
And certainly one can never be too sure about those sort of things. And I drink a lot of water, you know. I'm what you might call a water man, Jack. That's what I am. At times running very, Huh?
Were you ever a prisoner of war? When they tortured you, did you talk?
No,
You know, those clowns outside are going to give me a pretty good going over in a few minutes. I don't know how well I could stand up under torture.
Is he gonna kill himself?
I happen to believe in a life after this one.
Shit.
You dropped your gun, Jack. Yes. You know what I'm here? No, Jack, let me take that for you. And you know what I'm hoping, Jack? I'm hoping you're going to give me the code, boy. That's what I'm hoping.
Fuck.
Yeah, what the hell would they do?
Oh my gosh.
Man, that was crazy.
Everyone's done.
DSO to Captain, I have an unidentified radar blip. Looks like a missile tracking us.
Oh shit.
So if a missile was shot at a plane with an atomic bomb, what would happen?
ECM locked to target intercept mode. Missile still tracking steady and closing distance. Range 10 miles. Missile track deflecting. Continue evasive action. Range 1 mile. Missile detonated.
Oh shit.
Reselect essential power.
Well.
Put your hands over your head. What the devil do you think you're doing shooting away in here? And I am Group Captain Lionel Mandrake. I'm General Ripper's executive officer. Where's General Ripper?
Oh.
He's dead. Look, I don't know what sort of stupid game this is you're playing, but I've got a very good idea what the recall code is, and I have to get in touch with SAC headquarters immediately.
Oh.
Start walking. Don't you know that General Ripper went as mad as a bloody March hare and sent the whole wing to attack the Soviets? Don't you know that? Blast. Shot away, I expect, by one of your men during this ridiculous fighting.
All right, Charlie, I've been wasting too much time on you.
Come on, Mandrake.
Mandrake's our only hope.
Oh, but they couldn't see it anyway. They couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's fucked.
The power is on. Everything seems to check out all right.
I've worked on a rate of fuel loss at approximately 162 per minute, sufficient to take out primary and secondary targets.
This height, why, they might harpoon us, but they dang sure ain't gonna spot us on no radar screen.
Colonel, I must know what you think has been going on here.
I think you're some kind of deviated prevert. I think General Ripper found out about your preversion. All I was told to do was get General Ripper on the phone with the President of the United States.
Now, just 1 second. I am General Ripper's executive officer, so the President will bloody well want to speak to me, won't he?
Yes.
The court of inquiry on this will give you such a pranging. You'll be lucky if you end up wearing the uniform of a bloody toilet attendant.
Come on, Mandrake.
Oh my gosh.
Hope he has enough.
Look, something very urgent has come up, and I want you to place an emergency person-to-person call with President Merkin Muffley in the Pentagon, Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, I haven't got enough change. Could you make this a collect call, operator? They won't accept the call. Have you got 55 cents? Oh, blast. I'm still 20 cents short. That Coca-Cola machine. I want you to shoot the lock off it. There may be some change in there.
That's private property.
Colonel, can you possibly imagine what is going to happen to you?
But if you don't get the President of the United States on that phone, you know what's going to happen to you?
What?
You're going to have to answer to the Coca-Cola company.
The recall code OPE is being acknowledged.
But there's still the one.
Right.
I'm not a sentimentalist at all by nature, but I think I know what's in every heart in this room. We have heard the wings of the angel of death.
Excuse me, sir. Premier Kissoff's calling again, and he's hopping mad.
No, Dmitri, there must be some mistake.
Dimitri.
No, I'm certain of that. He says that one of the planes hasn't turned back. He says, according to information forwarded by our air staffs, it's headed for the missile complex at Laputa.
Right. I mean, look at the big board. 34 planes, 30 recalls acknowledged.
He says their air defense now only claims 3 aircraft confirmed. The 4th may only be damaged. Is this gonna set off the doomsday machine? Listen, I mean, it's not gonna help either one of us if the doomsday machine goes off, now is it? Dmitri, there's no point in you getting hysterical at a moment like this. Listen, Dmitri, put everything you've got into those 2 sectors and you can't miss.
Oh Oh boy.
They're gonna make it, aren't they?
Doggone it, sweet, you told me that you'd get me the primary. I don't give a hoot in hell how you do it. You just get me the primary, you hear? What's the nearest target opportunity?
Oh no.
So we have a chance to reach target 384.
All right. Designating new target 384.
We'll keep our fingers crossed, Dimitri, and remember, there's just one thing: we are all in this together.
Crossed.
We're right behind you, Dimitri. We're with you all the way. Is there really a chance for that plane to get through?
You just can't expect a bunch of ignorant peons to understand a machine like some of our boys. And that's not meant as an insult, Mr. Ambassador. I mean, he's really sharp. He can barrel that baby in so low. I mean, you ought to see it sometime. Has he got a chance?
That's the point. Oh, they're prepping.
Ready for final bomb run check. Take over, AC.
Roger.
Detonator set to 0 altitude.
Release first safety.
Uh-oh, it's about go time.
Yeah. Function?
Switching backup circuit.
Roger.
Engage emergency power.
Roger.
That's good.
Come on, stay close, damn it.
Be on the bomb run, boys. I'm going to get them doors open if it hairlips everybody on Bear Creek.
He's persistent. You gotta give him that.
Jeez, can you imagine being that close?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh. He's just climbing on it. Oh god.
Target distance 7 miles.
What do you think?
I don't know.
It's uneasy, man.
Oh shit.
Bro, he's gonna go with it. He's running it like a bull. Shit.
Oh my god.
I think we'll know what's coming next.
I would not rule out the chance to preserve a nucleus of human specimens at the bottom of some of our deeper mine shafts.
How long would you have to stay down there?
Well, let's see now. Possibly 100 years. It would not be difficult, my Fuhrer. Nuclear reactors could... I'm sorry, Mr. President. Animals could be bred and slaughtered.
I would hate to have to decide who stays up and who goes down.
Of course, it would be absolutely vital that our top government and military men be included. But with the proper breeding techniques and a ratio of, say, 10 females to each male. Also, when they go down into the mine, everyone would still be alive. Bold curiosity for the adventure ahead.
Wouldn't that necessitate the abandonment of the so-called monogamous sexual relationship? I mean...
The women will have to be selected for their sexual characteristics, which will have to be of a highly stimulating nature.
When they come out in 100 years, they could take over.
I agree, Mr. President.
We must be...
Does he have a secret camera?
To prevent them from taking over other mine shafts.
He has a secret camera.
I have a plan. Monsieur! I can walk!
That's a lot of explosions.
Yeah.
Say hello to the folks that I know.
The end.
Yeah.
Well,
because I was thinking, like, when they're doing all this talking, but
yeah.
The doomsday thing is gonna happen any time now, any second.
So, what did you think of the movie?
So I really enjoyed. First off, I liked how it was took place in 3 specific scenes.
For me, overall, I was surprised a bit.
Yeah.
I liked it more than I thought
Yeah.
I would. What did you think, like, overall? Were you surprised with anything?
No, I just really enjoyed. It was very witty. It was at times it was subtle, but then obviously there was times that it was just kind of blatant what they were trying to do. I think one of my favorite scenes was just when the Pentagon, the president gets he first hears the news about everything, and he's talking with the premier of Russia, I believe. Premier of Russia, and they're just chatting. Everything's just like they're chatting as if like nothing big's going to happen, and so they're being very nonchalant and they're bickering back and forth.
Like it's hard to go, at least for me, a person who has not seen a lot of older comedies. It's hard to go into it without like some sort of like internal bias that like, oh, it's from 60 years ago. Yeah. So the comedy's probably not going to feel as relevant or is going to feel different from what we have today. But I feel like watching movies like this, I guess, is just showing me that comedy transcends time. A lot of these jokes felt like they could have just been written, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, the buildup from the beginning, you're like, all right, what's happening, to eventually hearing the news. Like you just didn't know what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
But then at the end there, you kind of felt like, okay, well, everyone's screwed. You know, Ripper killed himself, and he was the only one that knew the communication codes.
Well, they figured it out, though.
They did?
Yeah, remember, that's when all those planes were going back. But the last one, it was the OPE code that Mandrake figured out. So he did get through.
Go
Mandrake.
Right. Go Magic. That was...
I think that whole part might have been my favorite just because, well, first of all, I just really liked that character, Mandrake. Plus just how absurd everything was with the other guy. Speaking of that part, I found that really interesting just because, I don't know, it felt his whole like conspiracy theory with the water and everything felt very, very relevant when you compare it to like people thinking that the COVID vaccine had trackers or whatever in it, or like the flat earth people, things like that. So I really liked that whole part, but I think I equally liked the war room section. I mean, first of all, the president, I really liked him.
Yeah.
He was trying his hardest to fix things.
In an impossible situation.
Yeah.
I love just the little like subtle jokes sprinkled throughout that, like the whole when the general was fighting with the Russian ambassador, and he was just like, president said, "This is the war room. There's no fighting." It's just very ironic.
Yeah, and him talking to his girlfriend.
Right. Yeah. I think the general was one of my favorite characters as well. It just it felt like they were really taking this. At times, it felt like they were taking the situation seriously, but other times it felt like just another day at the office.
Yeah, and even in the end there, I mean, they were talking about the whole mines thing.
Yeah.
The Russian ambassador, he was taking pictures.
Right.
Like they were just going on with their lives, even though everything they knew what was potentially coming.
Right, just so easily sidetracked.
Do you have anything to say about like the whole plane section? That was probably like my least favorite of everything.
It was just like, just connected everything. And it's like, you're kind of like pulling your hair. It felt like everything was, they tried so hard to prevent this plane to stop this attack, but like, they were just being persistent, especially the main pilot.
They were good at their job.
They were good at their jobs. Yeah. One of the other good scene was when General was talking about the pilot and how they could, do they have a chance? The president asked him, do they have a chance to, attack?
He was like, yeah. So the main actor here, he played the president, Dr. Strangelove, and Mandrake.
Yeah, they're all just
which was,
unique.
Honestly, I knew it going into that. I knew he was going to play multiple characters, but I don't think I realized it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they were all so different.
And unique.
So yeah, that was really cool to see.
Right. Yeah, Strangelove. Yeah, that's what I was surprised. I was surprised by the amount of time Dr. Strangelove was on screen, but I think he was pretty memorable, especially when you find out that he used to be a Nazi, right? Which was a total shock, but I was like, wait a minute, did they just say the Führer? And then it just went off the rails from there.
What do you think about the alternative title?
I wonder if it just goes back to just them just being not carefree, but like, especially one of the scenes I noticed was when the general was talking about, what's another, 150 million casualties versus 10 million casualties.
Another thing that I really liked were the telephone scenes, because I'm assuming, he's not talking to anybody.
Yes.
Actually, on the other end of the telephone. But I felt they just felt so like realistic. Just watching like the facial expressions and the rhythm of the speech. It was cool.
Very natural, very fluid. Yeah, both with
because he talked for like a long time.
Yeah.
In some of the parts. So I wonder if those few things. I know we saw the gum, the Coke. Were those like early versions of product placement?
I know. Because they really like, especially the general.
Yeah.
I love he was just surrounded by rappers and everything, and the mandrake was seen fiddling with a gum as well.
I also thought it was interesting how the president and the Russian, the premier, they didn't seem like aggressive towards each other, like even he was talking about, oh yeah, I can just call you for a friendly chat,
right?
So it's kind of just, it's ironic that they would be fighting each other even though they didn't seem to have ill will towards each other.
I know one of my favorite lines was when the president tells the premier about the situation. He's like, oh well, I'm rooting for you, please tell me. I'm rooting for you. And what was he saying? Like, you can't be sorrier than me. I can be just as sorry as you can. I think the ending was fitting for the movie.
Yeah.
Just like complete chaos, right? I mean, just a quick end, and that was it. Like they were just babbling about, getting into this mine and trying to recreate humanity. But in the meantime, I think it was too little, too late.
Yeah, I'm very curious what we may have missed in terms of just not being familiar with that time period,
Yeah.
And all of the historical and political things going on. So I'm sure there's some things that probably went over our heads. But that being said, I do feel like I said before, like a lot of it felt very easy to understand and relevant.
Well, that is a wrap on Dr. Strangelove. Overall, we had a good time watching it. Let us know what you think of Dr. Strangelove. Where does it rank amongst your Kubrick films? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.